March Madness. All these cops shooting a nigga tragic. Don't want to live in lavish. Like I'm playing for the Mavericks.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's We Talking About Sports. We're back here with a special little podcast, not a full podcast, but it's a special podcast nonetheless because it's March Madness time. We got the play-in game starting today with the two, I think we got two 12 seeds and a 16 seed matchup. So much to look forward to, but I'm here joined by Ben and Ron. How are you guys doing?
Stay good, Doug. Good. Ready for
Ron, I saw you with the paper in your hand. You're a traditional bracket kind of person. You like to print out your bracket and write out your winners. I like that. I respect that. I like
right
that.
Here.
And how are you doing, Ben? You ready for these playing games?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm rooting for Texas Southern here at 5:45 in the first game.
Texas Southern, same.
Corpus Christi with the points, dog.
Take on it with you guys.
Christi.
We already got our disagreement, and it's only the playing games. But before we get into the brackets, what we want to do here for you guys today is we're just going to fill out a bracket here on ESPN. This is a part of the We Talking About Sports March Madness group that we have on ESPN. We had one last year. We're going to do it again. We'll talk a little bit more about the details of the contest that we're doing this year, something a little special for the winner. But before we get into it, was there any seeding or anything that caught you guys off guard, or maybe any snubs that you guys would have liked to see in the tournament that didn't get in?
To me, it was weird just to see, how some teams did get screwed over. We saw Texas A&M make a run in the SEC tournament, win some games against top 10 teams that they weren't supposed to win, and here they are as a number one seed to the NIT tournament. And then you have teams like Michigan, that ended up getting
safely.
Yeah,
not even in the play-in.
That actually surprised me a lot because I expect them to be a play-in type team, just like Indiana. I mean, Indiana had a deeper run and beat Michigan
beat them. Exactly.
Yeah, so I thought that was weird, but it seemed like they had a big preference towards the Big Ten. Big Ten led the field with the most teams in.
What did they get, like 9, right? Including the play-ins and everything.
Yeah.
The seeding, if anything, was the only thing that caught me off guard with some of these teams, like Colorado State being a 6 seed, even though Boise State won the regular season and the conference tournament.
St. Mary's being a 5.
And they're an 8 seed. St. Mary's is a 5 seed. And the big one, I think you already hit on it, was Michigan being safely in after they just lost to Indiana this past week in an ugly fashion too. So can't get it all right, but I think for the most part, they got it right. But Ron, is there anything that caught you off guard before we get into this, or are you just ready to knock these out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to knock them out, and just to say, I mean, the teams at the latter portions, everybody's going to have an argument. Everybody's going to have their reasons why they should be in and their reasons why they should not be in. So once you get past, I would say, the 6, 7 seeds, to me, in my personal opinion, everything's, a toss-up. This team beat that team. The strength of schedule comes into play, the conferences. I mean, once you start being coaches, once you start being nitpicky like that, I mean, it's kind of just all up for grabs. They're not teams who, are guaranteed victories in their, the round of 64, the round of 32 anyway. So anytime it comes down to this, just having a tournament with 64 teams, 64 entries is fucking nuts. I mean, we see it on the football side when they went to 4 teams. It's like, oh my God, thank God they can't even get 4 teams right. There's still controversy there. So when you go all the way to 64, there's going to be controversy, regardless. But that's why college is cool. It's always up for grabs, and this is why it's called March Madness. So I'm
got one game. One game. And I got to ask you before we get into the brackets, what is your preference in terms of making the brackets? Do you look for your upsets? We had Beating the Bookie on. We did the interview. We posted that this past week, and he was given some tips on March Madness when it comes to looking at upsets and whatnot. Is that something you seek out, or you just kind of let it come to you if you like the particular matchup?
I kind of
like the 4s and the 13s and the 5 and the 12s and shit like that.
I mean, I kind of just let it come to me. The way that I pick my bracket is based off overall teams. I mean, there's obviously, the Blue Bloods are there because they have the stars, but I like picking the teams who has a better team who maybe played together for 2 or 3 more years when I start picking upsets.
Okay. I like that. Ben, I was just asking Ron if there's any method to his madness when he's putting together these brackets and looking for upsets. And I was asked, is it random for you, or do you try and go as knowledgeable as you can on these upsets?
I've tried to use my brain, and I've yet to get a perfect bracket. So this year, I'm just doing the battle of the mascots, bro. That's just the way I'm filling it out this year. It seems to be that there'll be a female that joins the work bracket somewhere, just pick straight off mascots or what state she likes more, and they end up winning. So it's time to just
yeah.
All
right, well, let's get into it. We got the bracket here. We're going to fill out one for you guys. We'll call it the We Talking About Sports bracket. And then, again, we're going to break down the details of the contest here after we fill this out real quick. But without further ado, let's get into it. We got the 1 and the 16 on the west side. I think we're all in a unanimous decision here with Gonzaga beating Georgia State. We can move them on to the second round, right?
Yep. Circle it in like a Scantron.
All righty. Well, Gonzaga moves on to the next point. I'm going to give Ron a little bit of a second to pencil it in on his paper bracket.
I already got mine filled out.
All right, I got you. And then we got Boise State versus Memphis in the 8 and the 9 seed. This one's a tough matchup for me. What do you like, Ron?
I'll go Memphis here.
You like Memphis? You, Ben?
Yeah, I think that this is a pretty good game. You got the Tigers against the Broncos. Memphis is purple as well, purple being my favorite color. I'm going to go with Penny. Penny to have a turnaround, get his boys a win in the tournament and advance.
First time in the tournament for Penny. Took him 4 years to get there. He got the program back into the tournament. I like Memphis. They're going to be a little bit too athletic for Boise State, in my opinion. So give me Memphis to move on to the second round, although that should be a good game because Boise's not to be slept on. The 5 and the 12 seed, UConn versus New Mexico State. I'll lead the way. If you guys agree, I like New Mexico State in this one to keep it close. This one is a line. It opened up at +9 or +8. It's already been bet down to +7 for New Mexico State. I think they have the size to compete. We'll do it by democracy here. So if you guys outvote me, no harm, no foul.
I just went UConn.
Yeah, I haven't filled the bracket out yet, but I do agree with you that this is a tough matchup because New Mexico athletically and, height-wise, they are a bigger team. UConn is probably the biggest team in the Big East. But I'm going to go with UConn as well. I do expect it to be close because UConn can struggle scoring the ball. So this could be an upset, but I'm going to go UConn.
That should be a game that we might want to take the points on if we're not taking them out right here. So moving on,
we can put a little star. No, we can put a little star on that one for you, Roland.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, moving on. The 4 and the 13. We got Arkansas versus Vermont. Ben and I have already professed our love for Arkansas previously. Same. Ron, you like Arkansas a lot. Yeah. You're not deterred with their performance in the SEC tournament.
No, man. Just kind of jumping ahead here. I like them to go all the way to the Sweet 16. So,
okay. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I like them here in this spot. Could be tricky. Vermont is a pretty good shooting team, but Arkansas's, they have that seed for a reason. They're nails defensively for the most part, and they'll be the more athletic team big time. Yeah. So Arkansas,
and they're gonna be asked to defend in the half court. So hopefully that leads to some transition offense for Arkansas. So we got a 4 and a 5 matchup already here with Arkansas moving on against Vermont. Moving on, this is going to be a little bit of, I guess, forecasting because we got a matchup here that has a play-in matchup. It's Alabama in the 6th seed versus the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame. Ben, we've talked about Alabama a lot. I'll let you lead the way on this one. Who do you favor here out of the 3 teams, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, depending on who gets in, I'm looking to fade Alabama. I'm not a big fan of Alabama. I think that they're a fraud. So I'm looking to fade Alabama. Depending on who does get in, if it is Notre Dame, I might take a shot with Notre Dame over Alabama. They can't beat them in football. Shit, let's get a win in basketball one time.
What about you, Ron?
I'm rolling Tide here, man. I think they kind of had some time off. They realized what they did during the season wasn't great, and they put it together at least for the first round matchup here.
Yeah. My problem with Alabama, and I'm going to side with Ben here, and I'm going to take the winner of the Notre Dame and Rutgers one. My problem with Alabama is we've just been waiting all year for it to click for them. They have the talent, no doubt. That they have the 5-star recruits. They've done a really good job of building up the program. But they're a team that chunks up a lot of threes, and when they go cold, it gets ugly. The thing is, those threes, they could go in. It's just that people have been waiting all year for the threes to fall, and it just hasn't hit. So I'm going to side with Rutgers and Notre Dame, although Alabama could shoot them out the building just the way they play. But I'm gonna call the upset with Ben here. So we got the first upset, a little bit of a disagreement, but it's democracy, so we got to move on. We got Texas Tech and Montana State. Not too much thinking for me. I like Tech. What about you guys?
Tech big.
All right, moving on to the 7 and 10. I smell an upset. We got Michigan State and Mr. Tom Izzo versus Davidson in the 7-10 spot. Davidson just lost against Richmond in the A-10 championship, and Michigan State. Who did they lose to in the semis?
They lost to Purdue.
They lost to Purdue in the semis of the Big Ten championship. Made a nice little run. I like Davidson here. What about you guys?
Yeah, Davidson screwed me Sunday, but give me Davidson. Michigan State, surprisingly, is a 7 seed. They were a team that was on the bubble for a while, but they got hot towards the end. You know, Izzo in March and February, his team start playing well. But give me Davidson.
I'm gonna go on the other side of the fence here. Like I said earlier, I like teams that have been there before, that play together, are well coached. So I'm gonna go with the Sparties here over Davidson.
We are noting that Ron disagrees with us on these last two ones. So in case that it all goes bad and that
it's all right. I got it. I got it right here.
You got it on record. All right. Yeah. Moving on. We got the 2 and the 15 matchup here to wrap up this side, or the West region. It's Duke versus Cal State Fullerton. Duke, we all know they kind of limped into the tournament with that 2 seed, and Cal State Fullerton, they won a thriller against Long Beach State to get into the tournament. I like Duke here to at least move on in the first round. What about you guys?
Same.
Duke.
Yeah. Right. Coach King. I like that.
Do you guys want to continue to the east, or do you want to go to the south region?
Just whatever works.
All right, let's knock out the south, this top portion of the bracket. Right. All right, the south region is run by Arizona. They're the 1 seed there. They're in a play-in matchup also. They got the winner of Wright State and Bryant. That's going to be a fun matchup, in my opinion, tomorrow. We'll get into who we think wins that game, but I like Arizona, whoever comes out of there.
Yeah, Arizona easy all the way to the Elite 8 for me.
Yeah. That Wright State and Bryant game is going to be good, though. I would pay attention to that game, betting-wise, too. Seton Hall, TCU. This one is pretty much a guess for me, but from what I've seen from both teams, man, I guess Seton Hall. I like their interior defense a little bit more. I think they can present a little bit more problems defensively for TCU. What about you guys?
I'm a Texas boy, man. I'm going with TCU just because they're the home squad.
Yeah, I like TCU in this one also. We saw them beat Texas. We saw them beat Kansas twice. We saw them beat Texas Tech. They started playing very well at the end of the season and earned themselves, a seed into the tournament because they weren't a for sure team either.
All righty. So we got TCU versus Arizona in the round of 32. Then Houston versus UAB in the 5-12. Very tricky matchup. UAB was in a pretty electrifying, I guess, tournament run that they had. They had a triple overtime game against Middle Tennessee State that ended up going their way, one of the games of the year. And then Houston, they've just been doing their thing in the American Athletic Conference for the past couple of years. You can pretty much shoe them in. Analytically, a lot of people like Houston, but they didn't get respected by the committee with the 5 seed here. Weird matchup, but I'm going to favor Houston because I think they have a large advantage on the boards. So that's where I'm going to go with this matchup.
Yeah, Houston just way too big, and I think they will have a chip on their shoulder feeling they got snubbed with the 5 seed. So give me Houston.
I've been very skeptic on Houston all season, hating on them a bit just based on their competition, losing to Memphis twice. In the regular season, they did finally beat them in the championship of their tournament. But I like the upset here. I'm going to go with Jelly Walker and the Blazers, baby. UAB.
All righty. Another maybe potential upset here. We got Illinois versus Chattanooga. Illinois coming out of the Big Ten, Chattanooga the SoCon. Chattanooga does have legit high major size and athleticism. That's why they won their conference. They were just more athletic than everybody else. and they were able to get easier buckets. I think they play in the conference with Belmont, so they just is that correct? I don't know. I could be wrong, but anyways, Chattanooga, respectable team. I have my issues with Illinois, much like Ben had his issues with Houston, just because I bet on Illinois in some big spots and they've come up flat in some big spots that you wouldn't think they would come up flat in at home, maybe going away from home with Kofi Cockburn and company, and that experience that they have comes through. But I don't think they're going to make a run, but I'm going to give them the victory here. That was a long thing for me to say. I'm taking Illinois, but
nah, you're good.
Yeah, Kofi Cockburn going to be too big for these boys, so give me Illinois.
Yeah, there's just levels to this, man. You mentioned the conference that Chattanooga played in, and we couldn't think of it. So there's levels to the levels of competition, and Illinois to me should win.
Alrighty, moving on. This one is weird because it's a big name school with the 11 seed in Michigan versus Colorado State in the 6 seed. I'm going to call Michigan here. I think it lines up good for them. They're going to be way bigger than Colorado State. Colorado State, not so much sold on them. They have some good talent out on the perimeter, but I think the size disparity is going to be too much for them. And give me Michigan in this first round matchup, even though they spurned me this past week.
Yeah, put some respect on the Wolverines here getting out of the round of 64 for me. So Michigan over Colorado.
Juwan Howard's back to coaching. Michigan hasn't been good with him back. Give me Colorado State here. And Roddy. Roddy's a really good player for Colorado State and the Rams.
Roddy Rich.
All right, moving on. We got the 3 and the 14 Tennessee, who locked up the SEC championship, notably ranked lower than Kentucky, who they beat in that championship game. Kentucky's got the 2 seed. We'll get to them later. But they match up with Longwood. Longwood, little interesting note, there's been a lot of travel issues with a lot of these teams. They still don't know when they're landing for their game. Not that really matters in the big scheme of things because I have Tennessee moving on, but just thought I should point that out. There's some travel issues for some teams involved here.
That's wild. Tennessee as well. I think they roll easy. I have them going to the Sweet 16.
Tennessee big.
Tennessee. All right. We got Ohio State versus Loyola Chicago. I have a feeling Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean, they're going to be the popular pick for an upset. They got a first-year coach. They got Denzel Valentine's brother as a head coach. I forget his first name. I want to say it's Drew Valentine. But anyways, I'm going to go opposite of the public on this one. Even though Ohio State limped into the tournament, I still favor Ohio State here. So I'm going Ohio State in this matchup.
Sister Jean, you got to give her one win. I'm going with Loyola on the round.
Yeah, same Loyola for me. Like you said, Ohio State limped in. Sister Jean.
I'm outvoted 2-1 here, so we're going Loyola Chicago 10-7, calling the upset. I like it. 2-15. Not going to spend too much time here. Villanova versus Delaware. I like Villanova big in this one. Give me Villanova to move on.
Yeah,
same Villanova.
Shit, I got them in the Final Four, baby.
All right, let's move on to the east part of the bracket that's led by Baylor, who also kind of limped into the tournament, and we're being honest with their injuries. But I still got them moving on against Norfolk State here in the first round.
Easy win here for the Bears, yeah.
8-9 matchup, also a pretty interesting matchup. We talked about the 8-9 earlier with Memphis and Boise State. Marquette versus North Carolina. North Carolina's 8, Marquette's the 9. Give me the Tar Heels. I think they have too much size. I like their defense. Marquette, from what I saw, they struggle with size, especially in the interior against Creighton. I thought they got exposed a little bit. And I don't trust Shaka. Even though it's Hubert Davis's first go-around as the head coach with North Carolina in the tournament, I still like North Carolina to move on.
Agreed there. After that beating that they put on Duke, they ain't losing in the first round, bro.
Yeah, I'm not backing a Shaka Smart team in the tournament after what he did with Texas.
I knew that was coming.
All right, we got North Carolina moving on to the second round in that 8-9 versus Marquette. A little bit of an interesting one because it's a play-in that's actually happening tonight. It's St. Mary's with the 5 seed that Ben pointed out was a little weird, a little high for them. And the 12 seeds, Wyoming or Indiana, is going to get this matchup. I like Indiana to beat Wyoming, and I like Indiana to beat St. Mary's in this one.
I got the Gales advancing no matter against who they play. They're a team that, like Ron said earlier, they've played together. They're recruited a lot of Aussie players, a lot of overseas players, Euro players. They're solid. We saw them get that win against Gonzaga towards the end of the season as well. So give me St. Mary's.
Same. I'm rolling with St. Mary's as well. I don't think they got snubbed. I mean, they play in a tough league, and they should get a little more. Yeah, man, and that league's coming up. It's on the rise. It's getting more talent. So the level of competition is better for them. And I didn't think they got snubbed on the 5 seed. Give me St. Mary's.
And they got another team that we're going to talk about here later in another 7-10 matchup from the West Coast Conference. UCLA versus Akron in the 4-13 matchup. UCLA, blue blood school, they've been around. They still have a lot of their talent from last year, although they've been injured throughout the year, lost in the Pac-12 championship against Arizona. Then you got Akron. Akron can flat out play. The MAC has a lot of good talent. They had a pretty good championship game. They beat Kent State in the MAC championship. Is going to be a tough game. UCLA should be on, I wouldn't call it 100% upset alert, but they should watch out for Akron because they can play, but I'm taking UCLA.
Agreed. I'm rolling with them as well.
Yeah, this should have been Kent State, not Akron, so give me UCLA.
6-11 matchup, a game that I don't think I'll bet, but we're doing the bracket here, so we're going to have to pick. Is Texas versus Virginia Tech in the 6 and 11 spot. The only reason why I say that is because naturally I want to fade Texas, but what Texas is good at gives Virginia Tech a lot of problems. So I'm going to lean with Texas here. I'll take them. And we already know who Ben's going for. Ron?
Virginia Tech, man. I saw enough of Texas this year. I saw the debacle of late, leads. So give me Virginia Tech. Give me the Hokies. I think Ben said that they shoot a lot of threes, and when they go in, they're a really tough team to beat. I think they come out just shooting the crap out of the ball and give themselves a puncher's chance.
Yeah. And I mean, Texas does struggle at scoring the ball sometimes, so they could find themselves in a bad spot. But nonetheless, you're outvoted here, Ron. We got the Texas Longhorns moving on to the second round. And if Ben has anything to say about it, he already said he's got them in his championship bracket. So we'll see. We got the 3 and the 14, Purdue versus Yale. This one's easy for me. Yale shouldn't be here. Give me Purdue to move on.
Yeah, Purdue.
Yep.
All right. We talked about the West Coast Conference. Ron was saying it's a respectable conference. That's why he likes St. Mary's at the 5. We got another team from the West Coast Conference here in San Francisco. They match up against Murray State, who has a 7 seed. San Francisco's coming in with the 10 seed. This one's a very tough matchup for me. I don't know if I'll bet it again, just like this Texas game, but gun to head, give me San Francisco. I like what they've done throughout the year. I think a lot of what they do kind of matches up well with Murray State. Murray State's a team, like I said, with Chattanooga, who just benefited from having more athletes on their team than everybody else in their conference. You get a lot of that here with Murray State. And I think that kind of gets that advantage dwindles when you come to this stage. So give me San Francisco in a close game. It's a toss-up, but give me San Francisco.
Give me Murray State, the Racers. I don't think San Francisco should be in the tournament, to be honest. I don't think that they deserve to be in.
I mean, if you want to talk about bracket busters and brackets busting early, you're gonna take San Francisco. That's the squad that's gonna bust your bracket. So San Francisco, I'm rolling with them at the 10 seed over Murray State.
Yo, Ron. We got an upset agreement here. We got San Francisco beating Murray State. So moving on, we got Kentucky versus St. Peter's. Kentucky lost in the SEC championship game. St. Peter's, I can't off the top of my head get what conference they're off of. Let me just pull it up here. They are from the MAC, the MAAC, the Mid-American Athletic Conference. Just want to give them the respect in the 15 seed. But Kentucky's going to beat them by 30, right, Ron?
Easy.
All right. We got Kentucky moving on. Moving on to the Midwest. We got Kansas versus the winner of the game that's about to tip off here in a little bit between Texas Southern and Corpus Christi, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We disagree on who's going to win that game, Ron, but who do you have in this 116?
Oh, Kansas, easy. I have them all the way down to the Final Four. So
alrighty. San Diego State versus Creighton in the 8 and the 9. This is a tough matchup for me. I'm going to have to go San Diego State. They defend well on the perimeter. Creighton is down their point guard. They've been down their point guard since about the end of February, so they've had some time to acclimate without him. But I still don't trust them in this setting. Give me San Diego State. Give me the experience, a team that's been there. And I mean, Creighton in the same regard has been there too. They're well-rounded, but I like San Diego State.
I went with Creighton here just because I've always I've even when they had like Doug McDermott, I started following them a lot. And I like them. I like them because they put up the rock a lot. I mean, shooters shoot, and that's what Creighton does. My first instinct, though, was to take San Diego State because I know they're sound defensively. So I don't have a problem with San Diego State here. It's a conventional 8 versus 19, which is a toss-up game. I took Creighton on my bracket, but I don't hate the San Diego.
You want to do rock, paper, scissors for it?
Nah, Matt. We could. You're more knowledgeable on the NC2A, like some people say.
All right. So we'll go San Diego State here. You get the next one since Ben had to step away. Iowa versus Richmond in the 5 or 12. Ron, what's your thought on this one?
Iowa here, just too big. I
like Iowa to move on here in this one.
Solid squad. There's not much to argue there.
Got some NBA talent on their team, and Keegan Murray, potential Spur. Providence versus South Dakota State in the 4 and the 13. Providence kind of got a little exposed by Creighton in the Big East tournament. They got blown out by 20. Providence kind of been a team of destiny this year, winning a bunch of close games. Finds himself playing South Dakota State, who is a respectable team. BPI rank was 58. They went undefeated in their conference. This one's tough for me to pick personally, just because Providence, like I said, they played a lot of close games all year. I don't know if that it plays to their advantage here or if it bites them in the butt. But, man, I can't pick. I guess
Come on, it's around a 64 rolling. Come on.
Yeah, I guess Providence will move on. I guess. What
I agree there. Yeah, I agree there with you. It just goes back to my point about conference play. The Big East was very tough this year. I love Nova. I love them coming out of the Big East, and the competition to me is just better there. Not taking anything away from South Dakota State, but I mean, you got to compare apples to apples here, and this is apples to oranges, and Providence should easily win here.
Alrighty. Moving on, 6 and 11, LSU versus Ohio State. LSU just fired their coach after the SEC tournament. Will Wade got fired because NCAA allegations were about to drop on them. And Iowa State, Big 12 team, competitive at times, hit or miss like a lot of these teams. I don't know who to pick in this one. LSU has a superior athletes, but they can't shoot a lick. They cannot hit a three. But man, Iowa State, it's just a bad matchup. So Ron, I'll let you take this one.
Oh man, LSU here, defensively. I like them defensively, just like you said. They cannot shoot a lick, but I think tournament games have a lot to do with defense, man. If you can frustrate the other team, even if they are better than you, you might get easy buckets. They can get steals, transition points. So give me LSU here for those reasons, just because they're big, they're more athletic, and defensively.
So moving on, we got Wisconsin versus Colgate. Little tidbit on this game. It's going to be in Milwaukee. So Wisconsin's pretty much like a home team in this one. I know Colgate was a big upset team that a lot of people were looking for up until they got seeded against Wisconsin in this game in Milwaukee. So I got Wisconsin here, even though they struggled a little bit in the Big Ten tournament.
I agree there with you, man. We can jot it down for Wisconsin.
All right. USC versus Miami. I think this is a game that I'll stay away from betting wise, but I like the Hurricanes. I like the Hurricanes in this one. Give me Miami. Who do you like, Ron?
I went ahead and went with USC here.
All right.
I mean, they're not all that great to get to around a 32, but they might be a little bit more underestimated than people think.
They had high hopes for most of the season, and they kind of sputtered at the end, so they could regain some of that. So you gave me the last one with San Diego State, Creighton. We're going to go with USC to beat Miami here in the first round. Moving on, we got Auburn versus Jacksonville State. I don't like Auburn to do much in this tournament in terms of where they're projected to go preseason, but I like them getting out of this matchup.
Me as well. Yeah, I mean, easy pick for me here. I know they didn't. I know you guys were talking about it. They didn't do well towards toward the end. You guys were a little upset with them there, but the talent's there, and to me, the NCAA tournament is good, obviously for March Madness, but it's kind of like a whole new season in a way. It's just like when we talk NFL and NBA, it's like anything can happen in the playoffs. And to me, this is where teams get to either, regain their strength that they created early in the year. And it's a definite possibility here. You play a team like Jacksonville State early, you gain confidence, and you never know. You can have one of those, March runs.
Yep. No, true. I like that. All right, moving on. We're going to go back up to the West here for the round of 32. Gonzaga versus Memphis. Going to be a tough matchup for the Zags just because of how athletic Memphis is, but I still got Gonzaga moving on.
I got Gonzaga as well. Yep.
All right. UConn, Arkansas, 5 and 4 seed. I had UConn losing in the last matchup, so I'm going to pick Arkansas here.
Same. I have Arkansas winning as well. UConn can get through New Mexico, but like Ben said earlier in the show, they do have trouble scoring, and Arkansas can be that juggernaut of a team when they find their stride. So give me Arkansas over UConn.
All right, so we called an upset. You disagreed with us in the 6-11, but we got Texas Tech versus Rutgers or Notre Dame. We're going with Texas Tech here, right?
Yeah, I mean, even me picking Alabama over Rutgers or Notre Dame, I still had Tech beating Bama, so Texas Tech onto the Sweet 16.
This is a little bit of a tough matchup for me. Davidson versus Duke. But, man, is Duke going to do Coach K like that and go out in the round of, 32 before they even get to the Sweet 16? That would be a crazy way for Coach K to retire. That's not typically what I like to look at, but give me Duke here to at least beat Davidson, right?
Yeah, I mean, I picked Michigan State. I went with Sparty over Davidson in my bracket, and just like the Texas Tech over Bama picked, I still have Duke. You have Izzo, you're going to have Coach K, and Coach K is going to give it to Izzo that one last time and advance to the Elite Eight.
All right. We already got the we got the Sweet 16
set up over
here. And now moving on to the round of 32 in the South, we got Arizona, the 1 seed versus TCU, the 9. I got Arizona coming out of this matchup here.
Yes, same, man. TCU's maybe can get through Seton Hall, but there's no way they're going through Arizona. So Arizona.
All right, a little bit of a tough matchup here. We got the 4 seed Illinois versus a 5 seed Houston. Man, this is a very tough matchup for me. But I guess give me Illinois to come out of the 4 or 5 seed. Who did you have coming out of here?
I went ahead and went with Houston. I agree.
All right, I'm with you on Houston.
I mean, you kind of said it in the round of 64. That you didn't love Illinois versus Chattanooga. Yeah. So I kind of figured, I was like, he's gonna roll with Houston.
Yeah, all right, let's go Houston here. I back on the Houston Cougar bandwagon. All right, we got the 11 seed Michigan versus Tennessee, the 3 seed. Another tough matchup, but I like Tennessee to get out of here, right?
I mean, we didn't love at the beginning of the broadcast. We didn't love Michigan to begin with, ranked as high as 11. We might have been talking about it off air, but you guys mentioned Tennessee beating Kentucky, so I think this should be an easy win for Tennessee. They got that class, against a team that has trouble scoring the ball in Michigan.
All right, so moving on to the last one in the South bracket. For the round of 32, it's Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean versus Villanova. I got Villanova moving on here.
Yeah,
they're gonna get a lock them in.
Jay Wright can go ahead and kiss Sister Jean goodbye.
Shit, they got to start paying Sister Jean to. I hope they pay her to show up for these games because she gets some TV time. All right, moving on to the East bracket, round of 32. We got Baylor versus North Carolina. I said Baylor's a little injured. But I don't trust North Carolina. I think North Carolina has enough juice to get past Marquette, but I've seen North Carolina come up short in enough games and look just lost offensively for me to at least give Baylor the victory here and get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I agree there. Baylor, they still got some dogs, man. They got some dogs and they got some height and they play very, very well together. So give me Baylor beating North Carolina.
Alrighty. Moving on to the second matchup in the East, we got St. Mary's versus UCLA. I like UCLA here. I'm not too high on St. Mary's. I had them losing last round, so I got UCLA here.
I'm gonna stick with St. Mary's, man. There's just something about them, man, and the conference. Right. So give me St. Mary's. But You can have this one because it is your turn. So let's
okay.
let's ride your Cali swag.
Right.
Let's ride your Russell Westbrook UCLA.
All right, let's see if we both agree on this one. Let's see if we both agree on this one. We got Texas in the 6th seed. Wait, can you hear me or did I go blank?
Yeah, no, you're
my Siri. Okay, we got Texas in the 6th seed versus Purdue in the 3. Give me Purdue to move on.
Yup, I didn't even have Texas coming out of the round of 64. I had Virginia Tech upsetting them, but I still have Purdue rolling over Virginia Tech. So Purdue on to the Sweet 16.
All right, you said this team was a bracket buster, but do you have them moving on versus Kentucky? You had San Francisco versus Kentucky in the 210.
Yes, man. Kentucky, easy.
Kentucky. All right, Kentucky, we're moving on.
Easy. Yeah, I'm pretty high on Kentucky this year.
All right, so we got our Sweet 16 set in 3 of the 4 brackets. We're moving on to the Midwest. We got Kansas versus San Diego State. I think Kansas is going to be a little too much inside. They got that center that proves to be unstoppable at times. So give me Kansas.
Yeah, give me Kansas. I had Creighton coming out over San Diego State on my bracket. So Kansas over Creighton.
Okay, and in the 5 and the 4 seed, we got Iowa versus Providence. Iowa hasn't been to the Sweet 16. I've read some tweet and maybe like 20 years or something like that.
Wow.
I'm not into trends as much as a lot of people, so give me Iowa here to beat Providence. This is where the show ends for Providence.
Yep, I definitely agree. I liked your analysis of them against their matchup with South Dakota State. So I'm definitely going to take Iowa now over Providence to go to the Sweet 16.
Alrighty. Moving on to the last 2 matchups to set our Sweet 16. We got LSU versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin the 3, LSU the 6. I like Wisconsin to move on here. I already mentioned that LSU, they lost their coach. I think that's going to come into play at some point, and I think it'll come into play here against Wisconsin. But it's your pick, though. It's your pick. So
man, I didn't want this one to be my pick here.
Yeah, it's your pick, though.
I mean, I chose LSU, but I did not know. You dropped some knowledge on me saying that the Midwest games were going to be played in Wisconsin. So if there was one pick that I would switch, it would probably be Whiskey over LSU. So I'm fine taking Whiskey here, even though I have LSU on my personal bracket.
So who are you taking?
Let's go with Whiskey for we talk about sports, man. Whiskey, we talk about sports. Let's go.
All right, I like it. All right, so the last matchup to set our Sweet 16, we got Auburn in the 2 seed versus USC in the 7. Man, this will be tough. You know what? Give me Auburn to win here. I think they have enough talent to get it done against USC.
I like it too. I'm going to go ahead and stick with Auburn. This pick has about 66% chance right here. So I like it. It's almost, at 70%. So let's roll with Auburn.
Alrighty, let's just move back up the way we've been doing it. Let's set the Elite 8 in the West. Gonzaga versus Arkansas in the 1 and the 4 seed. It's a tough one for me, but give me Gonzaga here to beat Arkansas. I think that's where it ends for Arkansas, as much as I like them.
Completely agree with you there. Zags are just too much. I'm going to reiterate it again. It's just squad, players that have been sticking together, coaching, coming up through the program together. Gonzaga takes care of Arkansas. You guys did touch on that. Arkansas has had a little bit of a roller coaster of a year, and we haven't seen that from Gonzaga. It's been straight consistency. So I think
Arkansas has one guy that can really go for them, and that JT Noj, or I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but he's their point guard. But once he gets taken out of the game, like he had foul trouble this last game, they were completely toast there against A&M. So, yeah, give me Gonzaga, maybe a little bit of recency bias against Arkansas, but I agree with you. In the 2 and the 3 matchup, we got Duke versus Texas Tech to set the Elite 8. Give me Texas Tech. I'm not super high on Duke, but give me Texas Tech here, even though is it my pick or your pick left? I don't know, but who do you think wins here?
I went ahead and went with Duke here, but it was just a straight coin flip toss up. So yeah. You can have arguments for both teams here.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me. I'm trying to remember because I got UCLA.
Their rebounding isn't great, and I know Tech is a bigger team. I mean, I think Duke ranks like 170th. in defensive rebounding alone. So their odds of going to the Elite Eight aren't maybe as high as some people think. So if you want to go Tech, I'm fine with going.
All right, let's go Tech here. Baylor versus UCLA. Who do you got in the 1-4 in the East?
Baylor. I'm still riding with Baylor. I'm still riding those dogs, man, from Texas. Those Texas boys, those good Christian boys over there at Baylor University.
Tough matchup here. Kentucky and the 2 seed versus Purdue in the 3 to get to the Elite Eight in the East. Man, give me Kentucky though. Give me Kentucky though. They got the Player of the Year. They got Oscar, unstoppable, and they still got Ty and Wheeler over there. So give me Kentucky to get out of this matchup.
Yeah, this might be one of those all-time classic games, buzzer beater kind of.
Yeah.
Typical March tournament Sweet 16 games that we see. Everybody's on the edge of their feet. We could see double, triple overtime here possibly. The two teams are tough and they're rough. But I think Kentucky and their coaching experience gets it done here, man.
All righty. Let's stay on this side real quick. In the Midwest, we got Kansas versus Iowa. I have a feeling you picked Iowa in this matchup, or did you ride Kansas all the way down to the Final Four or to the Elite Eight?
I rode them all the way down to the Final Four, partner. So
yeah,
give me Kansas over Iowa.
I like Kansas to beat Iowa in this matchup too. Iowa, I just think like you were talking about earlier, they're just going to run up to I guess a level that's a little too high for them in terms of just overall class of the team. Although Iowa is a very respectable team, they ended up winning the Big Ten tournament. So we got Kansas in the Elite Eight in the Midwest, and then to set the Elite Eight on this side, we got Wisconsin versus Auburn. Ben just joined us for the last matchup. Or wait, yeah. So no, we still got 2 more three matchups in the Sweet 16. So you're going to get to finish the Sweet 16 with them.
Did you have any critters up there in that attic, pal?
Bro, I just got the worst fucking. This motherfucker's over here talking about $7,000 to fix this shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I kicked him out of your house as soon as you heard that. Didn't even let him finish.
Fucking assholes. Just a couple rats at $7,000.
Yeah. Do it yourself at that point.
Yeah.
All right. So to set the Sweet 16 or to set the Elite Eight in the Midwest, it's our last matchup here. We got Auburn versus Wisconsin. Ben, who do you like in this matchup?
Well, I'm looking back to see if I would have knocked Auburn out anywhere because I'm not very big on Auburn as it is.
Neither am I.
But honestly, even in this matchup, Wisconsin, Johnny Davis, yes, he's a beast, but it's for the most part a one-man show for Wisconsin, in my opinion. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Auburn here, man.
What are you, Rob?
I agreed. I have Auburn on my bracket. Roland said that they are playing in Michigan. I mean, I'm sorry, in
I don't know at this point where these matchups will be, but I know the first 2 are in Milwaukee. So.
Well, it runs out of there time runs out.
All right. So we got the Elite Eight set in the Midwest, the East, and I think the West.
Ben, do you have anybody you want to just roll through them real quick? Do you have anybody that you picked maybe, or that you feel we didn't do a good job on, or you would have taken differently? Do you have Gonzaga, Arkansas there? And
yeah, I mean, the only one that I see still here is Houston, but I'm hoping that we will all kick Houston out by here. I'm just not that high on Houston, to be honest, man. That's it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Fair point. All right. So let's set the Elite Eight in the South region. We got the Sweet 16 here. We got Arizona versus Houston. We just talked about it. I have Arizona in my personal bracket, so I like Arizona to beat Houston in this matchup.
Yeah, I had Arizona versus Houston in the Sweet 16, and I have the Cats going to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, give me Arizona as well.
All right. The last matchup to set our Elite Eight, Tennessee versus Villanova. Give me Villanova, man.
Good. Hell of a matchup right here. Hell of a matchup.
But give me Villanova. Give me Jay Wright. I don't trust Rick Barnes at this stage. I think he's good enough. I think he's better than these other coaches he'll face up to this point. But give me Villanova to get out of the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean, you could see another potentially, overtime game, super close game, buzzer beater like we talked about with Purdue and Kentucky. But I'm very high on Villanova. I had them winning the Big East, and I continue to roll with Nova and Jay Wright. They beat Tennessee, and they advanced to play Arizona in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, big coaching advantage here. I'll go Villanova as well.
Alrighty, so that's a unanimous victory for Villanova here. All right, so let's stay on this side. Let's set our final four. The West region, our Elite Eight is Gonzaga in the 1 seed versus Texas Tech. Very, very good matchup. Gonzaga, they got the high profile, probably the number 1 pick in the draft, Chet Holmgren, going up against Texas Tech. Texas Tech had the Big 12 Player of the Year. They have a good squad. They have a squad of rangy, athletic wings that give a lot of teams trouble. Is it enough to beat Gonzaga in this matchup, though? Because Gonzaga has the ultimate, I think, matchup nightmare in Chet Holmgren. But I'm going to go Texas Tech to get it done here. I don't know if I'll be outweighed.
I'm going to go with Gonzaga here. I just think it's going to be too much offense. Texas Tech does play really good defense. I like that y'all had Tech beating Duke. I'd probably agree there. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Gonzaga here advancing.
Same, man. Same. I'm just ditto to everything you guys said for those reasons. Well, but
we're on opposite sides, Ron, so you're the tiebreaker.
Oh, whoever said Gonzaga. Yeah.
No. I said Tech, and you and Ben said
Gonzaga.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah,
so Gonzaga's in the final four.
Yeah, I heard Ben talk last, so
yeah,
I agreed with what it was.
Gonzaga's in the final four out of the West seed here. Another shot at it for them. All right, so then we got Arizona and Villanova. Give me Arizona in this matchup. I think they're going to be a little too much. I think they have a lot of NBA talent on their team and a lot of size. So for those reasons, give me Arizona to move out of the Elite Eight in this matchup.
I'm sticking with my boys, man. I'm sticking with Nova to pull off an upset here. They're going to upset Tennessee. They're going to upset Arizona, and they're going to ride into the Final Four. Give me Arizona. I mean, give me Nova, sorry.
I'm going to go with Villanova as well.
Oh, yeah. Roland, you're just getting outvoted right here, my boy.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm getting voted off the island here. That's all right. Baylor versus Kentucky in the East.
I think we might all be on the same side here, though.
I got Kentucky to beat Baylor in this matchup. I didn't have in my personal bracket. I think I had UCLA beating Baylor in the 1-4 seed in the Sweet 16.
I could see that as well.
Yeah. They're a little hampered coming to this tournament, so give me Kentucky in this matchup.
I agree, Kentucky, man.
Kentucky as well.
Too big.
All right. So to set the Final Four, the last matchup in the Elite Eight out of the Midwest, it's Kansas and Auburn. I got Kansas winning this game against Auburn.
Rock 'em, chalk 'em.
Yup, let's go with Kansas as well. They've done really great things in the regular season. I enjoyed watching them play. Give me Kansas.
Okay, so we got a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 on both sides. Cream rises to the crop, or cream rises to the top. Excuse me. I messed up that saying right there. But anyways, we got Gonzaga versus Kentucky in the Final Four. Who do you guys have in this matchup? It's a tough matchup, like we said. Gonzaga, they have probably the number 1 pick, but Kentucky has their own talent, not to be slept on in their own right. So who do you guys lean here? Ron or Ben?
This could be one of those games where Kentucky just bully balls, Chet, and just, just makes it too physical for him. We've seen that Kentucky has those big rebounders down low, a lot of size on that team, so they match up well. And we've just seen Gonzaga fall short so many damn times, bro. So even though I think that Kentucky's a little bit offensively challenged, if
at times.
Oh, if old boy's not hitting, that was broke as hell against Tennessee. What's his name?
Ty.
No. The shooter.
Wheeler. Well, you mean Grady?
Grady.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well, he hasn't been hitting for a while, and he needs to get hot in this tournament.
Yeah, for the reason why they can go on drought sometimes, I don't see Gonzaga going on many droughts. I'm going to go Gonzaga.
You guys know where I stand, man. The Bulldogs for me. Just because the way they score and the accuracy of their shooting, man. I mean, these guys put up shots, and a lot of the times the ball's going to go in the hoop. They rank in the top 20 in both categories. Supposedly, I mean, what I've been reading is they have a 31% chance to survive the Final Four if they get there, which is the best, ranking or the best shot out of all the 68 teams. So Give me Gonzaga here for numbers wise and the performance on the court.
Are they the overall 1 seed or no?
I think so. Even though people were saying that Kansas has a crazy easy road to get there, which they really do have an easy road to get to the Final Four. I think Gonzaga was the overall 1 seed here. I like them to beat Kentucky just because Ben says Kentucky does go on scoring droughts at times. I do want to caveat this with saying this is not the strongest Gonzaga team, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's played in the last couple of years. I do think they're a notch down from what they were previously, but I think it's enough to take out Kentucky in this matchup. But, oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's a 1 versus 2 seed.
Could we say it's the least talented team maybe, but the most talented player they've had?
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough to say because Chet Holmgren's going to be the number 1 pick. So, yeah, he could potentially be generational if things go right for him. So,
And just to touch on it, I mean, we're already at the Final Four, and a lot of the blue blood teams, like we say, are here, Nova, Kentucky, Kansas. They're great teams. They're well coached. But even Kentucky, Kansas, and Nova, they don't have those stars. They don't have that star power like they have had in the past. So this still gives Gonzaga an opportunity, to win in the Final Four and maybe even the championship because they're the ones that have the best player.
Yeah.
Out of all 4 teams.
That's true. All right, so we got Gonzaga going to the championship game. The other side, this one I have a feeling will be tough. We got Kansas versus Villanova. Personally, I think I had both of these teams lose. Oh, no, I had Kansas going. I disagreed with you guys on Nova. I'm going to go Kansas here to win because I didn't even have Nova making it this far.
Same. I'm going Kansas as well.
Shit, I'm riding my boys all the way to the top. Villanova to the championship game versus Gonzaga. Their free throw shooting is excellent. And they scored the ball, too, as well. We're talking about teams that have trouble scoring. Like you said, Kansas might go into some droughts, Kentucky as well, but Villanova does not have trouble. So give me Nova here. But it is a consensus.
We were rotating picks when Ben was gone, when we disagreed. So we're back to democracy here. So we got Kansas versus Gonzaga in the championship game. Is this Gonzaga's year to do it? Are you guys ready to stamp Gonzaga the national championship? National champion.
As a Longhorns fan, I'm not about to pick Kansas as a national champ. So give me Gonzaga.
Me as
I
well.
Got Gonzaga too. I got Gonzaga.
We got a consensus for the national championships. I like that, boys.
You guys like a high scoring game?
Yeah,
low scoring game.
Gonzaga as well. I took the final score prediction to be 68-66. I mean, I have them against Nova in my bracket, so Nova to me is not going to go down without a fight. It's going to be a tough fought game. Whoever Gonzaga plays, so 68-66.
All right, we'll go 68-66 here since you had a score.
Yeah,
ready to go. All right.
Yeah, they have 21% chance odds to win the entire tournament, so it's pretty high there.
All right. So the national champion for the We Talking About Sports podcast of
Submit that, baby.
Here is going to be Gonzaga. That's our winner. And we're going to do this. We have a group going on that we just started today. I just made the group. And Ron, do you want to tell them a little bit about the contest that we're going to be doing for the March Madness this year?
It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be Madness in March. You're going to get a chance to not only win free money, you're going to get a chance to win free play. And usually we only do it for the number 1 overall winner, but you guys show us so much love. So we want to help out as many people, as many contestants, as many followers, subscribers as we possibly can. So us in partnership with our boys from Betking are going to give you guys an option, man. You can deposit and you can win even more cash. We'll go over the details later. Or if you're like, nah, you know what? I just want to do the bracket for fun. I want to see how good I am. I want to play against my friends, other people from the We Talking About Sports community. You're still going to get a chance to win. So we're going to give away, free cash, free play to the top 3 winners. So not only number 1 is going to win. The guy who wins, he's going to win more, of course. But second place will still win something. Third place will still win something. Because we just appreciate it, man. Our family's growing, our audience is growing, our subscriptions are growing. So we want to help out as many people as we can. Whether you deposit or you don't deposit, you're still going to get a chance to win something. But shit, bro, if you deposit, man, the perks are pretty crazy. You're gonna have a chance to win some.
And we want to say also just the site that you guys will be using is a lot more. I guess it's improved from the last time that we were doing promotions with Betking. So a lot more options on there. Options of prop build, pretty much like DraftKings that you guys hear about all the options that they give out with their plays. You can find a lot of those same options on the new Betking, or eBet is the URL for them. But yeah, it's exciting. I like the website a little bit more than previous.
The new format is absolutely insane, man. You can parlay. Lately, the trend has been, player props. Ben and me, we do a lot of prize picks. Roland does them as well. But, sometimes you don't want to pick a side to the game. You don't want to just do against the spread or over and unders. You want to, everybody has their favorite player, their favorite team. So on this new website, you can do the team to win with your favorite player's points. The props are incredibly insane, and the payouts are really, really awesome. Now we're in a day and age where crypto is a big thing. If you guys are into crypto, there's bonuses if you deposit in crypto. I think it's like 125% bonus. So if you don't have cash laying around, deposit in crypto, man, and that won't hurt you as much as if you're taking some cash out of your wallet.
Yeah, so definitely play the bracket challenge with us here for March Madness. Definitely go ahead and try and get set up with eBet. We'll post all of the directions to sign up for the contest on all of our social medias. Be looking out for the link to join the bracket, and you have up until Thursday to join. That's when the games start. I don't know what time the first game is at, but it's usually pretty early. They're at 11, so make sure to get your brackets in. The play-ins are just tipping off. Like we said earlier, Texas Southern versus A&M Corpus Christi. By the time you guys hear this, these games will probably be decided. So my prediction is I got Texas Southern and I got Indiana winning in these matchups. Who do you guys got?
Sure, I'm putting in a parlay right now. Corpus Christi with the points.
I got Texas Southern as well, Indiana, and I'm playing Kyrie Irving. I mean, they would already have happened, but Kyrie Irving points over 24.5 tonight as well.
Okay.
Is there, I guess before we sign off, I just want to give you guys a chance since we probably won't have another pod drop before the tournament drops. Is there any first round games that you guys like or have already put plays in?
I haven't put anything in for the tournament.
No, man, nothing yet, unfortunately. But
we'll try and share on the we talk about sports social media. Probably tweet out some plays there throughout the tournament.
There you go. Be on the lookout for that. And again, like I said, be on the lookout for the links and the directions to join the We Talking About Sports and Betking Tournament Challenge. So if you guys don't have anything else, that's it for us today. Gonzaga is going to win the national championship according to We Talking About Sports and knock it down.
Yeah, and nobody's going to beat us. All you guys that enter and you think you're going to beat us, you're not going to beat us. We're going to be the number one spot. We're taking home all the glory.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Peace.